some irony about the timing of the Trump election and the downward trend of migrants coming into New York. Mayor Adams says it's now about 600 a week. That compares to the height of all this when it was about 4,000 a week.
The Merit is one of 2 shelter sites now closed down because the influx of migrants is easing. In January, 4,000 arrived every week. Now, for every 600 who arrive, 1,400 leave. And 223,000 have arrived in New York City. Currently, 58,000 remain in shelters.
Hello, everyone. Wow, what a success! 58,000 migrants are currently being sustained by the taxpayers. On that topic, you do remember Katiuska, the Venezuelan migrant who I recently reported on. She showed us how her and her friends celebrated her mother's birthday inside of the taxpayer-funded hotel, in addition to many other wonderful things she's been up to. So I suggest you go watch that episode if you haven't already. The link is down below. Well, she's back, guys. I have a very important update on this freeloader. But first, we have some very important news. The trial for the suspect in Laken Riley's killing has begun.
A migrant in this country illegally, now on trial in the death of 22-year-old Georgia nursing student Laken Riley.
One of the most difficult moments in this Georgia courtroom today was when the police officer who found Laken Riley's body took the stand.
To the university, I found it. Ma'am. Oh, I didn't EMS immediately. She's not breathing.
The court was silent as they watched the graphic police body camera video of him trying to save her life.
Starting CPR now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
The killing of the 22-year-old nursing student became a key point in the debate over immigration.
He shouldn't have been in our country, and he never would have been under the Trump policy.
26-year-old Jose Ibarra, who's charged with murder, is pleading not guilty. He's an undocumented immigrant from Venezuela who illegally entered the country in 2022.
He went hunting for females on the University of Georgia's campus.
Prosecutors say he was living with his brothers not far from the trails where Riley was jogging. Riley's mother was in the courtroom and broke down as she heard her daughter try to call 911 for help.
Clark County 911. Hello, this is Clark County 911. Can anyone hear me?
When Laken Riley refused to be his rape victim, he bashed her skull in with a rock repeatedly.
Prosecutors point to Ibarra's thumbprint on Riley's cell phone and video of him throwing away clothing with her DNA as proof of his guilt. Ibarra's lawyers are challenging the forensic evidence.
We learned the fight between the young nursing student and Jose Ibarra lasted for more than 15 minutes. And the prosecution team says the DNA evidence in this case is damning.
The forensic evidence that he left behind in this fight is his DNA, and only his DNA and Laken's, underneath Laken's right fingernails.
Prosecutors accuse Jose Ibarra of trying to rape Riley and, quote, seriously disfiguring her head by striking her head multiple times with a rock. Ibarra did not want a jury trial, so instead the judge will decide his fate. The defense team says the evidence, though, is just not strong enough.
It's outrageous, sick, disgusting, frustrating, inconceivable that we have leaders in this country that allowed something like that to happen. And still, to this day, you have mayors like Eric Adams from New York City and Brandon Johnson from Chicago saying that they are not behind President Trump's mass deportation policy. But it gets worse. You also have
"You come through me"
Governor Pritzker making threats.
The governor's making his first appearance since Trump's victory, and by his statements, he says Illinois will continue to be part of the resistance if Trump's agenda becomes extreme. And he says he will be a, quote, happy warrior leading that resistance.
to To anyone who intends to come take away the freedom and opportunity and dignity of Illinoisans, I would remind you that a happy warrior is still a warrior. You come for my people, you come through me.
Well, that's a huge problem. Imagine going through him. That's a big, big deal. No pun. So Governor Pritzker, please step forward. You are without a doubt the donkey of the week. Blaming President Trump. Of course they would do that. No, blame yourselves, Democrats. You guys created this mess. And unfortunately, we know there are good, hardworking illegals in this country. And they will pay for the bad ones. The good ones will pay for the bad ones. But that's the Democrats' fault. And the fault of freeloaders like this one, and this one, and this one, Katiuska, who was recently making fun of you guys.
Nosotros somos influencers, pero nosotros influenciamos a la gente que vive en donde? En los refugios. Y vivimos de ustedes. Ustedes nos pagan todo. Aunque ustedes no lo crean, ese es el dolor que ustedes tienen. ¿Cómo sufren? Ando en vivo sin pagar.
A lot of people wish to be like my daughter. That's the truth. But you're also an influencer. We are both influencers because we influence people that live where? In the shelters. You guys sustain us. You pay everything for us. Believe it or not. That is your pain. That's why you guys suffer.
And even making fun of President Trump.
But how have you been here, Isabel, she says. She's asking her. How do you feel that Trump won? And Isabel says, it's good because now the prices are cheap, she says. And Kat is laughing. Isabel says the economy is great now. And they're removing the people that think they're citizens.
But unfortunately for Katiuska, right after I posted my video, I found out that she got removed from the hotel and is now living in the Randall's Island shelter in New York City. And she hates it, guys. She can't stand it. She wants out right now. Remember, she's a fancy girl, an entrepreneur, a strong businesswoman. But oh, how things have changed so quickly. I mean, her birthday was better than yours and maybe even mine. For the record, my birthday is tomorrow. And I'm telling you that just in case I am not able to post a new episode on Wednesday, you guys know why. I mean, I do have a lot of jobs, unlike these freeloaders over here. So I'll try my best. But if I can't post a new episode on Wednesday, I'll see you on Friday. Nevertheless, migrants complaining. This shelter is a POS. Let's get started. Okay, guys, so here you have Kat, and she is by her selling point or her little clothing selling area, and she's not happy. She is saying that some app deducted $80 from her card, from her credit card or debit card, and she's not happy about it. She says, I didn't authorize this $80 charge. This is why I love to keep my cash out of the bank. So I have everything in cash usually. So I avoid putting anything in my account. And so I'm very upset right now. I'm going to go to the bank tomorrow and try to get a refund. And isn't that ironic though, she is angry about getting charged $80 without her permission. Kind of like us, right? The taxpayers that have been charged billions of dollars to sustain these migrants without our permission. Anyway, so here she is interacting with a customer, selling an item, and this is, I wanted to share this with you guys, especially for the Guatemalan. If we have Guatemalan Americans watching, she's going to give you a message in a little bit. So the person buying from her right now is a Guatemalan, and he shares that information with her, and she says, look, out of all of the Central American countries, Guatemala was the best for me. I love it there. The people were very beautiful. I have a lot of Guatemalan friends. And so he makes the purchase. He thanks her. We cannot see him on the screen, but you can hear him. And she says, all right, get some rest. Guatemala is the best country in Central America. I love it. And then she says, that's not true. That's not true. Guatemala is where they take more money from us, right? So she completely laughed at and humiliated the Guatemalan community right there on her live stream. Then you have migrants like her complaining that we generalize all of them, but she just generalized the entire Guatemalan country. Just think about that. Okay, so in this video, we have the amazing entrepreneur sharing a very important message. She's saying, we are halfway through the year, so this was sometime in the middle of the year, and she says, this is the month of abundance, of prosperity, and this is the time of being financially free, of being economically stable, of love and peace. Look how she talks. Remember what you couldn't achieve at the beginning of the year? You still have about 5 months left to complete all of your goals for this year. You have a lot of times. Oh, if someone says, oh, I haven't achieved anything, you still can do it. This is not a competition. The only competition is yourself. Look how she talks. I'm just trying to hold it together, guys, because she's talking like as if she was, I don't know, a successful businesswoman, right? And then you're going to see what happened a few months later, which is today. And this was her leading up to now, right? Remember, she did Halloween, and there are the clips of her having a good time with her family. Then she celebrated her birthday. I mean, it looks so beautiful, right? Look at the balloons, the decorations, very nice. I mean, everything so nice, and dressing very fancy, right? Showing off her clothing. I mean, of course, free rent, right? What a great businesswoman. In any event, this very successful person that was talking down to others of how they can achieve financial freedom posted this video a couple of days ago. She says, this thing is so long, but I'm going to be here for 15 days maybe. I'm going to try to save up for a rental and get out, because to do number one, number two, and even to eat, this is horrible. And there, I think you see her washing herself. I don't know. Maybe washing her hair. She says, I'm trying to get a job. I'll try to find something tomorrow or try to figure it out. And then she's recording. And she says, look where I am. No, I gotta get out this week, actually. Because, nah, this is bad. Yeah, I have to get a job. Look where I am, she says. This is where I am because I'm not working. I'm waiting for, see if somebody calls me for a job because I want to get out of this POS. Moreover, Kat posted this video where she says in the caption, I am demanding my right as a migrant. It is not possible that I had this altercation in the Randall's Island shelter with a worker that was trying to SA me, she says. Or she felt she was going to be SA'd. And he's pointing at the worker and he says, I'm going to post this and hopefully this goes on the news so you can be fired. I recorded you, she says. And he's walking away. And she says, he told me that he wanted to mess around. For me, that means to sleep around. And there's the worker there walking away. He says, I recorded you. I guess she's reporting him. And then she's saying that he told me that he said you and I like mess around in a Spanish slang. Right? So for me, that means, to sleep with each other. I'm going to record him. I'm going to play the audio in the, the regular audio because the worker is speaking in English, just so you hear a little bit of what's going on here.
Tiene que salir y ser público las noticias para que te voten.
Bro, get away from me.
Está grabado.
I'll be right back for you.
Todo está grabado. Que dijo que quiere tingar conmigo. Sí, claro. Crazy que lo voy a grabar. No me importa, yo lo digo. Bueno, Javi, que yo te lo veo un poco de respeto. ¿Qué pasó? Tingar para mí es tirar. Wait, I was doing a survey.
So she's saying, I don't care. I recorded you. And the guy's saying, I wasn't even talking to you. So the guy looks like he's denying what she's saying. And she seems to be talking to the workers there. And then she says, whatever you say will be used against you, she's saying. And he's like face palming. So he's mad. He says, stop recording me. And then, you heard him right there. And she says, you guys always have a bad attitude towards us, towards the migrants. You guys treat us horribly, she says. And then she says here, a lot of people make fun of us, of the things that we go through, the migrants in these shelters. You guys think it's easy living here in the shelters? You think that we want to be going through these situations where we live with people that they think they're better than you and they treat you badly because they work here and they think they own everything and they humiliate you. Look at this worker, she says. He offered me money to sleep with him. How does that work? Just because I'm new and I don't know how things work around here, she says. So we don't have any respect. So tell me, guys, I complained yesterday. And she put the video again. But I would like to add that Kat previously told us she was in a hotel where she had a laundry inside of the hotel. You remember that if you watched the first episode I did on her. And then she went to the second hotel where she was not too happy that there was no access to the laundromat. So that means she's been living in a hotel shelter for probably somewhere between 1.5 to 2 years based on the information she shared. So 2 years in a hotel and she still didn't get her stuff together. Just think about that, because now she's playing the victim, and nobody is happy or making fun that people go through bad situations. But she made fun of us. She made fun of the American people. She made fun of President-elect Trump. She made fun of the economy. You guys have to watch that video if you didn't already. But she said, oh, President Trump got elected. Oh, okay, the economy is good now. Everything is cheap now. Like making fun of hardworking Americans that are actually struggling, economically struggling. And now, just, within a few weeks or a few days after that, she finds herself here. And on this video, she seems to be eating. And you see the shelter workers right there. She's having a meal. And now she is in the bathroom, doing what she does best, right? Her skits and her terrible dancing. They're just babbling, and she says in the caption that she's with her friend and she's keeping her sane. There she goes doing her hair. You have got to be kidding. And that's the update I have for you guys. So Kat was previously living in a taxpayer-funded hotel, and now she's living in a taxpayer-funded shelter. She loved the hotel, but now she hates the shelter. Either way, she's not paying for any of them. We are. But she tells us which one she likes best. If you're wondering about her mother, Isabel, I don't have an update. I am guessing that the mother probably stayed in the hotel with her little brother. And because if you have a kid, remember, you have a higher chance of staying in a hotel. But she hasn't posted anything. If I get an update, I'll let you know. But it's safe to say that this family will probably still be sustained by the taxpayers. Thank you for watching. Smash the like button, subscribe, and share this video with everyone you know. The shoutouts for my amazing supporters are down below. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you guys next time.